Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Yeah. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in the back of a can. You can make it round the world when the holes in your hand. Popcorn world. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. 250 flavors. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. The popcorn world.
You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, C Major. At power forward, I'll be. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five.
Add one more plus me and
We are back up in the building, baby. Due to one of our guys going on permanent IR, Jesse has moved right into the starting lineup, much like his Celtics. You just make adjustments, move people around. So he's a starter now. He can't even put him out as a six man no more. He's a starter, full-on starter now. We count on him for heavy minutes. Killer Cam is here. Chad Major's here. We all in the building right now, ready to have a dandy time of a show. We have a developing story. But before we get to that developing story, let me single out for just a second. And as on behalf of Noise Media and Entertainment, and of course the Brothers of the Five, we want to send all of our thoughts and prayers to the people of Uvalde, Texas. Listen, man, nobody, we are all fathers here on this show, and none of us got up this morning wanting to take our kids to a school where somebody was going to be shooting up that school today. And where we are as a country is ridiculous. For this to continue to keep happening, for us to not as a country be addressing this the way that it should be addressed is ridiculous. And I don't want it to have to hit somebody else's home for it to become real. It's real right now. And so whatever we have to do as a country to make this right, whatever we have to do as people to make this right and to protect our children, we need to do that. We need to find ourselves doing that immediately. So on this show, we try to make it fun and talk sports and laugh, but we can't completely detach from the reality that is what happened yesterday. And so we send our thoughts and our prayers to every family, all 21 families that have been touched by this tremendous tragedy, the entire Uvalde, Texas community, our entire Texas state family. And we leave one message with our lawmakers: get your asses in gear and get this right. So that's on behalf of us. So there you go. All right. Take care of a little business there. Now we back in the mix. Good to see you, my brothers.
Good to see you too, man. Good to see y'all, man.
Absolutely.
That was not the developing story that we were going to start with. The developing story that we're going to start with is, as we speak right now, somebody is having a conversation about a workout that just happened over the last hour and a half with Colin Kaepernick in Las Vegas. Will what happened in Vegas today stay in Vegas, or will it finally happen? Will Colin Kaepernick finally be signed? The owner has already said publicly if he is what we need or if he can fill a role, I'm 1,000% on board with the signing. I don't care about what he's done. I care about winning these championships.
Championships and Colin Kaepernick don't even go together.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Why are you doing that?
This is such a waste of time that we will even talk about this. I know we want to entertain. I keep telling y'all the guy sucks.
Oh my goodness. We've had several NFL, former NFL, and current NFL players who would disagree with that, Cameron.
Yeah, but you have 98% that would say that he sucks.
Oh my goodness. How are you coming to this assessment? I don't understand this.
Because he has an arm. He has a football. He has to throw it to a spot. He can't do it. He sucks.
Okay, but you don't know if he can do it. He hadn't had the opportunity to do it. Today he's getting the opportunity in Las Vegas to throw to spots, to open receivers.
We'll see tomorrow if Cam holds right, because somebody's going to say he sucks or he can play.
We might see tonight. It may break tonight during the NFL.
The only thing I can think of in this case when we even talk about Kaepernick, the only thing that makes sense to me is a pause. And for somebody to step out and say, out of Pappy, it's gonna be something stupid like that. Ain't nobody taking a chance on this fool.
I think what the Raiders are doing are cleaning up some messes that have happened, during these couple of months, in the offseason, these arrests and different things. I think they trying to step out on the limb and just change the narrative.
They need some goodwill.
They're changing the narrative a little bit to not talk about what has happened and talk about Colin Kaepernick. So I don't know how much stock is in this particular workout, but I mean it's just a workout. So. But they're keeping their names in the news as far as him working out and not somebody getting arrested or on trial or something. So I think it's just newsworthy as far as them.
Man, Emmitt Smith working out right now too. He ain't gonna make a team.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
T.O. working out right now. He's not gonna make a team.
Why do you hate him?
Dinko's working out right now. He's not gonna make a team.
Why do
Can
you
we
hate
put this Kaepernick thing to rest, please?
Why do you hate? Shout out to Jesse Townsend. Why do you hate him so?
I don't hate him. I just hate the fact
you don't love him.
I just hate the fact that people disregarding going by the issue to say this guy's not a good quarterback.
He doesn't hate him. He just think he stinks. That's it.
Well, listen. One thing about this whole thing, this could be more of a business decision than anything. Because
that jersey gonna sell.
You know how many Kaepernick jerseys and Nike tennis shoes he can sell out of the gift shop?
Facts.
Did you just kiss your muscles? Like what is going on right now?
I'm just acting like Cap.
That's no cap.
That is y'all cold blooded down. This whole lower section down here is rough tonight. Y'all came in with violence on your mind.
No.
What say you there, Jesse Wright?
What was Mullins drafted?
Who?
Nick Mullins.
No idea.
Does anybody know what he was drafted?
Better question. Who's Nick Mullins?
He's quarterback for the 49ers, I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where he's drafted, I have no idea.
He's not a quarterback for the 49ers. He's a quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders.
He was drafted this year?
Oh, so he switched teams. Okay.
Was he drafted this year?
Nick Mullins was an undrafted free agent. But they have Nick Mullins under contract, right?
Okay.
He's going to back up in San Francisco, won a couple games. And they've got Jared. They traded for Jared Stidham out of New England.
Right.
Josh McDaniels knows.
Right. Very well.
And they did a pick swap with New England, and Jared Stidham was a 4th round pick 2 years ago. So all I'm saying is Mullins was drafted in 19, Stidham was drafted in 20, and both those players are under contract for the Raiders. They signed another undrafted free agent from Cal as a rookie right this year, and they've got Derek Carr they just extended. So Kaepernick comes in I think Kaepernick comes in, and the only way he gets a contract with the Raiders is he's going to have to be better for what Josh McDaniels wants to do than Jared Stidham, 4th-round pick who's played for him the last 2 years in New England, or Nick Mullins, right, who's also under contract, or he's going to end up being like who's the New Orleans quarterback that really couldn't play quarterback and is now going to play
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
But they have a 4th quarterback, Chase Garbers.
That's the undrafted rookie out of Cal this year.
Surely he can beat Chase Garbers.
But for what? The number 4 quarterback on the roster?
Listen, quarterbacks get hurt all the time.
No. You don't carry 4 quarterbacks, Lloyd.
No.
You may carry 3.
Yeah. You're not some teams carry 2.
Maybe Josh McDaniels wants to start something different. Maybe. I don't know. Listen, all jokes aside, I'm trying to have a balanced conversation here. I don't know what this is. I don't know why they're doing it other than to move jerseys. And like I like what Chad said. This is very much goodwill, and in the Jewish community, they call this a mitzvah. You know what I'm saying? Doing something good and hoping that good fortune follows it. So maybe it's that. I don't know what it is.
I call it a PR stunt, but okay.
It could be that as well. It could be a PR stunt as well. But don't the Raiders need a PR stunt after the year they just had?
I don't know, but what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Hold on. What's the first 2 words of Las Vegas Raiders? It's Las Vegas. I don't think they need any PR stunts.
No, they do need some PR stunts.
No, they sell out 8 home games a year. Don't worry about it.
But that's not why they're doing it. They're not doing it to sell out the stadium. They're going to do that anyway. Drunk people are going to bet and go to games. That's how it works. But the image of the Raiders last year took a massive hit. And by the way, keep in mind, they're still in the midst of a lawsuit right now that they're not even a part, that they didn't even know they were going to be a part of until Gruden sued them. So that's Bob Kraft issues for the Patriots. It doesn't matter. The real problem, the Raiders took a PR hit when they traded Khalil Mack for a bunch of junk. Well,
they didn't even in the league anymore.
Well, that didn't help.
That's when the Raiders took
right about that. That didn't help.
Right?
But again,
Raiders took a PR hit when they fucking signed Carr to a 5-year max deal.
So signing Colin Kaepernick and showing that we are
I think this
about
is
unity and
McDaniels
stuff.
trying to be Bill Belichick.
That could be that too.
He's trying to play chess when everybody else is playing checkers, and if you don't want to bring him in, I'm going to bring him in. And I like established vets. He understands the thing. He's only going for a backup. If he blows me out of my skates, I'm going to figure out something, right?
But Jesse, here's the problem.
Here's Debo Samuel.
But here's what I'm struggling with you and everybody else. So what? Like, what's the big deal? If he does exactly what you said and he beats out Jared Stidham and he beats out Nick Mullins, you won. If he doesn't, you did something that nobody else was willing to do. You at least gave him a shot. You proved that he couldn't play, which is what I said months ago. Just bring him in, and if he can win the job, let him win the job. And if he can't, send him back in, and it's all over with. So there's no loss here. There's nothing.
There's no loss here. This should have been done 6 years ago. This should have been done every year for the last 6 years.
I agree.
The way Colin Kaepernick got manipulated the last time the NFL wanted to hold a fucking pro day and bring all these coaches in and fucking 6 people show up and say, oh, he's not really what we're looking for. Like that was so disingenuous, right? Such a disservice to everything Colin stood for. I think he should get a chance every second of every day for the last 6 years. The fact that he hadn't is an absolute disgrace. That doesn't mean he can fucking play football.
Well, I don't know if it's all on the NFL. I don't know if it's all on the NFL that he didn't get a shot. Now I'm gonna be honest with you about that.
1,000%. The NFL and the owners. The owners are the NFL.
No, but the one time that behind the scenes that people were trying to set up something for him, and he had a feeling that it wasn't set up right. That may have been more on him than anything. But it doesn't really matter. The bottom line is he's got a shot now. We'll see what happens. It's a developing story. Maybe it'll break tonight. Maybe it'll break tomorrow. Maybe we'll wake up and finally Colin Kaepernick no team thing.
He's not signing with the Raiders.
He might. You don't know. He might.
I do know.
He might.
No fucking way.
Well, I'll tell you what else is going on.
I'll give you like plus 4,000 odds he doesn't sign with the Raiders as a quarterback.
We'll see. I'll tell you the other development story that's happening right now. And it's interesting that this would leak now to me. It's very interesting. The Nets leaked today that they would be unwilling. They are unwilling to give Kyrie the max contract that he so richly wants and feels as though he deserved being a part of management. And then also at the same time, Durant has not spoken to management since the end of the season. Is it they're slow clapping? Are we slow clapping right now?
I agree with Jesse. I'm clapping
About
about
that
this
time, one of these owners decided to have a little bit of integrity when it comes to what we're paying these players to do. Players are always going to get shortchanged, right? The owners are always going to make more money than the players do, and that's wrong. The players are the commodity. They're what everybody's selling on the court and what everybody wants to see. That being said, these contracts that end up with, James Harden, if he ends up getting a max deal, what he's going to look like in, 60% of the way through that contract is going to be disrespectful to the game of basketball, right? What's happening with John Wall right now in Houston, what happened with, what Westbrook's contract looks like today. Kemba Walker had the same kind of thing going on. It's, Mike Conley's contract there. There are things when you're giving these guys $200 million, $250 million when they're 33 years old. I mean, it's just there has to be some kind of boundaries placed on, what we're going to expect and what we're going to be able to get, the return on our investment. And, there's been a problem in sports. I mean, you look at Bobby Bonilla, he's still making $1 million a year from the Mets, right?
Right.
So, we're talking about, all these games that people can play with salary caps and being able to get under limits. And I love the fact that somebody's going to say, and I think it really comes from ownership here, but, and Stephen A. Smith on ESPN said it best. I'm not giving this guy a max contract. I'm playing him year to year, and I'll pay him whatever the max amount of whatever – I have to give him. I could, if they put a franchise rule in at the NBA, I think that'd be absolutely amazing because then you could take a player like Kyrie and say, yeah, your talent's worth $35 million, but I'm not investing, past what I can see. And so
I'll take it a step further, Jesse. I think this is the beginning. His contract and Harden's contract are the beginning of the CBA negotiation. How these two contracts are handled will let us know whether or not the CBA negotiations are going to be incredibly tense or they'll be able to get to a pretty decent and quick resolve quickly. Here's the hold on. Here's the reason why. Because I agree with you 1,000%. We can't keep going in the direction of rewarding negative performance, even though the years are there. There's still there still has to be some measure of balance. You can't negatively impact your team in ways that Harden has and more so in ways that Kyrie has, and you still be rewarded because you put in the quote-unquote time. There has to be a measure of balance between those two things. And I'm not saying you got to act like a good old boy and do everything everybody's asking you to do, but I'm also saying you can't not perform in your contract the way that Kyrie has not performed. And this past year was relatively ridiculous. You're going to sit out because you want to take a stance? That's fine. That's your choice.
No, it's not your choice. That's my problem. When we talked about this last week, talent is one thing, okay? We rank talent only. Kyrie is in a whole nother level for me. He's in a whole nother stratosphere, all right? But everything else right? That I would have to bring into consideration to sign him to a contract. I'm no all day long, and this is the one of the few times that his talent's not going to trump everything else that's going on. Because when I pay you $35 million a year, I fucking expect you to get up when you're sick and come to work. I expect you to work 75, 80 hours a week, harder than everybody else that works around you. Right. I expect you to show up and do absolutely everything it takes to be on the job every single day to make us successful. And when
that goes back to my point.
To do that,
but that goes back to my point. But that goes back to my point. You have the choice. He has a choice to do that or not. And it's okay for him to choose what he wants to choose. I don't want to do that. And I still expect for you to pay me. Well, guess what? You can have that choice. I'm not going to pay you for that. Now, what needs to happen here is that the NBA Players Association needs to co-sign what Sean Marks is doing and saying, Kyrie, you're right. You have the choice. You made a choice to do what you wanted to do. That was your choice. Now, the rest of us in the league chose to do it. So if we choose to do what we feel as an association is this way, and you chose to go the opposite way, we can't reward you. That's like rewarding somebody for not studying for the test. I'm not going to give you an A if you didn't earn an A.
So, by the way, you're going to give credit to Sean Marks, and I'm not going to take anything away from him. But there better be as equal credit given to both Joe Tsai, right, their owner, the way that he says he's going to run this franchise.
Well, I'm assuming it's all one.
Right, but he's the same guy that's buying planes, right, for the WNBA, and like he's running a business the right way, in my opinion. Okay, and second, I'm not going to take anything away from Kevin Durant because I guarantee you he's involved in this decision.
Well, it's interesting. I'll tell you this: it's interesting, and then I want to get Chad and Cam in here with their thoughts as well. Because Kevin Durant has not spoken. No, you don't have to raise your hand. We got you. It's interesting that he has not said a word speaking on Kyrie's behalf. To me, that is a signal to say we got to fix this. We have to fix this. And if Kyrie doesn't want to be here, that's okay. I'm committed. But we can't keep doing this.
But you can give him a 1-year deal. Just tell him to show up.
Well, he may not want a 1-year deal, and that's fine too.
That's fine too.
Right. But we can't keep doing this. And personally, if I'm being honest with you, I don't want a 1-year deal. I'd rather we sign and trade him somewhere else, or we do the 1-year deal and sign and trade him somewhere else. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm done. No,
you don't.
Yes, I am.
If you're Brooklyn, you want him to sign a 1-year deal and get super freaking motivated and do everything it takes to play 82 games next year.
Let me tell you why I don't believe. Let me tell you why I don't believe one word that's coming out of your mouth
for the next 3 years.
Let me tell you why I don't believe one word coming out of your mouth. Because right now, you just said as a Celtics fan, you wouldn't want his ass back. So let's move on.
What I'm saying is, if you gave him the 1-year deal and it did what it's supposed to do, right? The intent of that is to motivate you to play in that 1 year. Because if I give you a 5-year deal, you're just going to rest.
Look at this screen and tell me that you think a 1-year deal is going to motivate Kyrie Irving to do the right thing.
I'm saying if it did, you would want Kyrie on your team.
I didn't ask you if it did. I asked you, Jesse Wright, do you think a 1-year deal is going to motivate a guy?
No, okay. But because of that, I know he's not going to take it, which means I know he's going to leave.
Okay.
Which is what I want, unless it's going to motivate him, in which he would take the deal. So it's a win-win for me.
Cam, Chad, what y'all think? That was an interesting argument to say we both agree. It was weird, but it was.
Okay. Yeah. As far as
I'll put this conversation to rest, Chad. You go ahead.
Go ahead.
I definitely want to see what KD is thinking because he hasn't said anything, but I know it's got to be something between him and Kyrie that's going to be festering because all he has to do is say a word and Kyrie could be gone. So I really want to know what their relationship right now is and how if they're gonna try to get it together, if KD's gonna be like, I'm cutting my losses, I want somebody else in here to be able to be my Robin, and we're gonna go from there because the situation happened with James Harden and he's gone. So I know it can be done, but I feel like I think Kyrie will leave. I think he will go and like you said, Lloyd, sign and trade would be the best thing for him to go and.
Well, it'd be the best thing for the franchise, not
for him too. So I mean, it'd be best for KD too because you're wasting away KD's years.
Hey, listen, Kyrie's under contract right now, right? Don't forget for next year. So it's a player option, but it's not like he's not going to opt into like 45. So he'll exercise the player option, and then it could be just as advantageous to Brooklyn to keep him and then trade him mid-season.
Yeah,
because they'll get something short term, but they'll also get the salary cap relief for $45 million.
Right. Guys, I can help you with this.
Go ahead, Cam. Jump in there.
I can put this thing to sleep for you guys. Let me just break it down to you. Let me just show you how it is. Cam being Cam. Let me just help you. You ever had that relationship when it was just time to let go? Y'all ever had that before?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you come across that person another 5 years, you playing sports, and you're like, you know what? Let's try it again. Like, you know what? The past is the past. If Shaq and Kobe could have got back together, they would have got back together. If that's the case.
I know where he's going. Oh, God.
Here comes Oklahoma City.
No. I'm being reasonable. I'm not going to do that.
I know where he's going.
Lloyd, you seen that before, right?
I have.
We seen Allen Iverson go back to the 76ers.
You did.
We seen Derek Fisher go back to the Lakers.
After cheating a lot.
Yep. So what I'm proposing and what I'm seeing and what my basketball gods are telling me
oh my goodness,
is that we've got to have a couple of reunions here, boys. We've got to have a LeBron and Kyrie reunion and a Kevin Durant and Westbrook reunion. That's what's going to happen, fellas. Y'all can thank me later for this.
I would actually be okay with that. As weird as this background.
I knew you were going that way.
It's better for everybody involved. Kyrie get his money. Kyrie living in LA, living in Hollywood and all this. That's what he is. He's a Hollywood show, right? Durant get Westbrook, and that's probably what Brooklyn needs. Somebody run up and down the court. He is Ben Simmons. I understand that. They can move whatever they want to do. Listen, you getting rid of both of them come off the contract. It is what it is.
Right.
Sorry, I was giving respect to the national anthem of the most.
Is that better, Lord? Is that a lot better? I'm sorry.
It's happening right now, but I 1,000% agree with Cam. That would be the most amazing trade in the history of humanity, and Brooklyn would be stupid for doing it. That being said, if it were able to pull off the Lakers,
who would be the coach, though?
If LeBron can't control Kyrie, nobody can.
But who would be the coach, though?
LeBron is still the coach. What are you talking?
Oh, no. I don't want it.
Why?
I need somebody who can really, truly.
No, does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
I think it matters.
No, does it matter if it's Doc? Does it matter if it's Terry Stotts? Does it matter? Does it matter?
I think it matters.
It doesn't matter.
It's never mattered with a LeBron team. It's never mattered with a LeBron James team.
This isn't the Celtics.
It mattered last year, didn't it? Frank Vogel didn't get it done.
It's LeBron's team, though. It doesn't matter.
He needs to have a coach of his team.
So you're telling me that Tyronn Lue won the NBA championship for them? Come on, man, stop.
Y'all don't give Tyronn.
If that's the case, Tyronn Lue would still. Okay, let me stop, man.
Can we give Tyronn Lue some credit?
Oh no, you know I'm a Tyronn Lue fan. You know that.
Just a little credit.
Hey,
he did more than just wash the jerseys.
I can see that happening. I'm just gonna tell y'all that. I ain't just throwing that out there. I can honestly see that happening.
It's not a bad scenario.
With the team that the Lakers have right now, if you could take a Westbrook out and put a Kyrie in, I'll take that right now.
If Ben Simmons is 100% healthy, you keep Seth Curry. I don't know if and I love Steve Nash and Westbrook. I think that would be a really actually good coach-player relationship.
Yeah, but now you got two dudes that can't shoot.
Yeah, but you put Ben Simmons as the power forward.
Stop. You got plenty of shooting on that team.
Yes.
Do you?
Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Kevin Durant. You can name.
Keep going.
It don't matter. You got plenty of shooting on that team.
We can keep going.
I can see it.
You know what's funny to me? You guys don't learn your lessons.
Who's
Don't
you guys?
learn your lessons. Because you have the same problem bringing Westbrook in as you had before. You still don't have a defensive-minded team.
No. Steve Nash is different than Frank Vogel. Ben Simmons changes the mindset of that team. You've got more shooting on the Nets than the Lakers did. And you know the pressure of playing with LeBron.
That's not true. You're saying it because you think it's true. That's not true. You have not seen that. There's been no demonstration of any of that from Philly to Brooklyn. No, stop it. Stop making up scenarios. That's not true.
I'm not making up scenarios. I'm explaining the scenarios that people just spent hundreds of millions of dollars investing.
Hello.
Just because they spend it, that don't mean it's worked. It hasn't worked.
So Ben Simmons, when has a healthy Ben Simmons not been on an All-NBA defensive team?
Ben Simmons has been on a bit.
Okay, that's going to change Brooklyn.
You guys.
Okay, so you take the Greek Freak off of Milwaukee. Are they the great defensive team now? Just with Holiday?
That's not apples to apples. And you know
you're right, because Ben Simmons is probably a better defender than the Greek Freak. You're right. It's not apples to apples.
Also smart off the Celtics.
I'm not co-signing that at all. All of a sudden, Ben Simmons is this staunch defender who can stop everybody.
That's what. Listen,
staunch defenders, independent of everything else around them. They can be independent contractors, not care about anything else. If they're the best thing on the court, and their defense is what's showing. That comes from intensity and work ethic and everything else in the world that's going to translate and bleed to every other player on that team. That's
one thing that Ben Simmons has done, and one thing that Ben Simmons has done, he's demonstrated a stellar work ethic. But having said all that, I wouldn't mind the trade.
No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't mind the trade. I wouldn't mind the trade now. Listen, I gotta be honest. All right, we're minutes away from the Eastern Conference popping off one more time. Game 5 is about to be underway. Your thoughts about what has happened? Your thoughts about what's going to happen tonight? It looks like Kyle Lowry's a go. Looks like Jimmy Butler's a go. Tyler Hero is not a go. And I think that's it. I think Tyler Hero's the only one that's not.
Reggie Love is in the building.
Just popped up in the building. Perfect timing as we discussed. Question number 1 with the Eastern Conference. What are your thoughts of what has happened? What are your thoughts about what's about to go down here in the next 2 minutes?
Is that question directly towards me?
That question directly to whoever's ready to answer.
Yeah, like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get.
That is very true. That is very true. Now, Jesse just told us that how many quarters have they won, Jesse? I forgot.
26. 14 out of 16.
14 out of 16 quarters. The Celtics have won.
Plus 28 in the series.
Who knows these stats?
I'm excited that he knows those stats.
Only 5.
Doesn't mean a whole lot because the series is 2-2. But
no.
I get it.
Thank you.
Jesse's so distracted right now. So everybody but Jesse answer this question. What do you think is about to happen tonight?
No, I got Al Horford to make a 3 as the first score of the game plus 4,000.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think the team the team that's playing the best defense, which is Boston right now, I think they will prevail because, I mean, I know Miami's going to have to play better than they did last game. The starters only scored 18 points total together. So I know they're going to definitely be looking to score and be aggressive. But I think Boston's defense just maybe too much for Miami at this time.
Can I piggyback on what Chad just said? I agree with what Chad said, the defense, but I also think who's the most healthiest.
Oh,
I think that's gonna be the outcome of this series pretty much. Listen, and then hats off to the NBA our first time Jason Tatum on the first team, superstar status now.
That question.
Oh, okay. Well, we talking about the Celtics superstar status. He's the only superstar that's on the court.
Yeah. Jason Tatum went last game when he was defending the Miami Heat. He allowed 0 points. They were 0-9 from the field and 2 turnovers. So if he can keep playing defense like that,
I need all my friends to understand it. Don't you ever talk to me and we're comparing Luka Doncic and Jason Tatum. Tatum is the better complete player than Luka Doncic because he played defense and he has now reached superstar status. Like you can get him the ball and clear it out, and he's gonna make a play whether he's passing it, scoring. It doesn't matter, man. The guy's is he 23 years old?
23.
24.
Jesus Christ.
Or 24. He's 24 now.
24.
You know, and I want to piggyback off of Cam, and I was about to say the same thing. This series about who's healthy. If you got Butler and Tyler both nicked up there, I mean, I'm gonna give it hands down to Boston right now. I mean, even if they were healthy, I wouldn't completely give it to Miami anyway. But still, with those two players nicked up, I really feel like Boston's going to win the series.
Well, I don't know, Reggie, because somebody was all on Jimmy Butler because he had that 40-point game. They talking like he's the next big thing, and like Miami's going to do this and all that kind of stuff. I'll leave it alone. I won't say nothing about it. Tell us how you feel, Lloyd.
Shit. What's the series thing again? I'm sorry.
That's fine. Okay.
I can't remember. What is it?
Okay. Guys, hey, you guys talk about Kyrie. Jimmy Butler, #no buckets have been an issue every team he's been to.
Why are you so angry tonight?
I'm not. I'm just giving you boys
I
the
think
facts.
this diet is affecting your mood swings.
I think these boys hey, 23 pounds lighter when it comes from the brain.
Right. You just
he had that diet and then just sipping that Crown Apple.
I'm just giving y'all. Listen,
I think it's a bad mix. I really do. I think it's a bad mix.
Hold on, Cam, Reggie. Let me try this a different way. Lloyd, if two heavyweight fighters went toe-to-toe, okay, and their first 4 bouts, okay, there was a first-round knockout, controversial decision, first-round knockout, controversial decision, and they were going to fight for a 5th time. Are you betting on the guy that had the 2 first-round knockouts? Or are you betting on the guy that won the 2 by decisions? Controversial.
This is an easy answer for me. I'm not betting shit because the way my money works, I don't give up money like that. So this is totally easy for me.
Hell, you betting on Daniel Jones this year? It's the same thing.
I'm not betting on him either. I'm just forced to have to deal with that reality. But here's the straight reality of this situation. You guys are 1,000% correct in the health regard because now it with Jimmy, but I'm watching Jimmy Butler right now, and he is yet to make a side-to-side move.
Oh my God!
That tells me he shouldn't even be out there, but he's trying to be the decoy and put up some shots that don't require him to have to make a lot of side-to-side stuff. That knee's not right, and so. I don't know how you can win this thing and not be healthy. If he were healthy, I'd give him a shot, but he's not healthy. So we're probably 2 games away from this being over.
I agree.
Yeah. So,
Whoa. Why you gotta wait till I leave to say I'm right? Start over.
First of all, I picked the Celtics from the beginning, even though I still gave Jimmy Butler love.
I heard at least 3 of them.
Unlike Cam, I can give a player love and still call out his demise at the same time.
Oh, you attack him and praise me at the same time, but keep praising me. Go ahead.
I'm not praising you at all. That's nothing.
I heard Jesse was right 3 times.
Yeah, you didn't hear none of that. But what about over in the Western Conference? Anything?
I can answer this for everybody in the group if you want me to. I can do that. Everybody's in the same bandwagon as this one is. This shit is over with. Like, it ain't nothing you can do. Like,
there is something they can do. They just fix the roof. That's ridiculous.
They don't have to fix the roof because Mark Cuban's not renewing the lease, and they ain't playing in Dallas no more. It's over with. Like, so they're good. They got all summer to do all that. Yeah, they're good.
Mark Cuban. Speaking of Mark Cuban, let me tell Mark Cuban something. 2 things you need to do, Mark Cuban. Number one, you're going to have to open up that wallet and going to have to pay a player $40 million to get somebody beside Luka if you want to win this thing. And number 2, you're going to have to give some money for Luka so he can get in a little bit better shape and play a little bit better defense.
He is in good shape now. He can't play defense.
Well, I think he can be in better shape.
Everybody can. I got you.
Yeah, I'm not saying, when you get to a certain super, that certain level, then it becomes LeBron, Kobe, Michael, and those guys really focused on their body to be better and better and better. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
If Luka is trying to get to that level, he's going to have to do that.
So, Reggie, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Is Luka's defense and Luka's conditioning on the Mavericks?
Not really. It can be a requirement because a lot of players
they've got requirements for every player, right?
Right.
You gotta be able to play 35 minutes, and
he does.
But the point is like whose responsibility is it to go to the next level?
I'm always a player.
Yeah.
I'm always a player.
I'm a 5'8" white guy, okay, and that can't jump and touch the net on a basketball rim. So I'm telling you this from all that experience to say, defense to me, there's some technique to it which can be learned,
right, and
there's work ethic,
right.
Exactly. Right? Now sometimes you're blessed with like amazing talent. You can jump out of the gym. You're 6'10", with a 7'6", wingspan, right? Giannis and Robert Williams, and you have those natural talents. But defense, otherwise, to me, is technique and studying some film, right? Knowing who you're playing against, but then it's work ethic.
Right,
so
and I agree.
To me, it's all on Luka.
Yeah,
if he
it
wants
is.
to take the next step, that's on him.
I agree because that's right. I'm gonna piggyback on. I tell my boys all the time about defense, positioning, and effort. You learn positioning and effort, you play defense. Now, I agree. That's why I'm piggybacking off of you. I'm 100% agreement with that, and that's what Luka's gonna have to do to take that next level. I agree with you, Cam. Tatum is a better overall player because Tatum can play on both ends of the court. Luka is struggling. Here's what Golden State is doing. They are putting him in every pick and roll and trying to get him manned up every time they go down the court. And Dallas is trying so hard to hide Luka, but he can't. They can't hide him. They can't. So to me, you ask me, it's more on the player. I agree, but Jason Kidd he's going to have to say, Luka, hey brother, how far you want to go in this league? How bad do you want to be that dude? To be a superstar, I'm going to be recognized as the next Larry Bird, as Shannon Sharp says, Baby Bird.
Can I ask another question that's really challenging? Can Luka play faster? Is it possible for him to play faster? Or
do you need to?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
His game allows him to average 35 points a game. I don't think he needs to play faster. Yeah. It's all about the defensive effort.
But even in defense, you still got to play a little bit faster.
I get that. He don't play defense, period, though.
Right, exactly.
But half of that's technique.
I agree. That's it. It's technique, but it's a lot of his effort.
And the other half of that, I hate to say, is that he's a foreigner, and he don't have to play defense over there. It's an offensive game.
Right.
Hey, Lloyd, I think we have a question.
I'm great, man. Here's what's going to happen with this hand raising. Every time somebody do it, I'm going to pull you off the screen.
I got a question now.
Go ahead.
Okay, so somebody is going to be a free agent this year. It's a big man, and he could pull up.
Aiden, because you don't want to pay him that kind of money. He's not with the. Listen, Chad, if you want me to fix the Mavericks right now, I got you.
They need a big man.
Trade Jalen Brunson. I said that. Trade Jalen Brunson to Indiana for Miles Turner. There go your big man that can clog up the paint. He can be your Tyson Chandler. And then you find a way to trade Hardaway, money, first-round picks, and you go get Bradley Beal. You go get Bradley Beal, and you go get Miles Turner for the Mavericks.
I was with you until you said the Bradley Beal. Now
well, that's because you want Bradley Beal, and I do too.
Everybody does.
No matter what,
he started cussing
and somebody $40 million.
Because Dirk didn't play defense either. That's why they had to get a Tyson Chandler in there.
Exactly.
But if you can solve two problems with getting Aiden, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, but the problem with Dirk can hold a power forward. Dirk can hold a center. I'm not trying to figure out who Luka holding.
He can try to. Tim Duncan ate his lunch. Garnett ate his lunch. Then you need a help side defender.
I'm saying you can make
Hey, listen, I'm talking to my all-time favorite athlete. I'm talking about my favorite athlete, so it ain't biased here. But let's call it what it is, though.
I'm just saying you can make Phoenix weaker and also solve your big man problem.
It's not about making Phoenix weaker, though, at that point, Chad, because you can make them weaker, but it got to be a right fit for your team, too.
Right. Well, you make them weaker. You already proved it. You're stronger than they are by beating them.
I'm not trying to be biased, but you know where Aiden really needs to go? And I'm not trying to be biased.
He do. He need to go with Popovich. He do.
He needs to go with Pop. He really
agree. He totally need to.
Yeah.
Totally.
I don't
know if Pop gonna pay him that money that he want, but
I tell you what, Aiden with Murray, Jonte Murray is not a bad situation.
No, but I know where Aiden is going though. I know we're getting off subject. It's gonna be a flop. I think it's gonna be Aiden and Rudy Gobert. I think they're gonna do a swap. That's what I think.
Does that make them better?
I think it can because I think it brings a different dimension to the team. Where Aiden is saying, "I was the number one pick in the draft. I should be considered for the ball. I should be doing this. I should be doing this." Where Gobert going there defensive minded for Phoenix, that's gonna help them big time.
Yeah, but you're losing 15 points a game.
It ain't about the scoring. Phoenix got scoring all over the place. They don't need 8 and 15 points a game. There might be another 6. There might be another 6-7 shots for Booker. There may be more shots for Johnson. Huh?
Cameron Payne.
Yeah, that's shots for other people.
I don't know if that's a good move.
I don't know.
I don't love that.
I like it for both teams. If you do that, you guarantee you get to keep the guard for Utah. You get to keep him. And if you get Rudy Gobert over there for Phoenix, I mean, golly, that's why they lost to the Mavericks. They had the defense, the interior defense.
It's interesting that we keep trying to get the Mavericks players that they just whooped in the playoffs. But I don't know.
I just say I don't know who they need to get. I know he's gonna have to pay somebody. I know that.
I think I'm with you on that. They need another viable scorer, and I don't know if Brunson is it.
Bradley Beal.
Stop saying that. They might hear you. Okay, knock that shit off.
Look, Magic said y'all were going back with Westbrook.
That's what he said. So did Phil Jackson.
Hey, he said it. I didn't.
Hey, they both said that. Magic said it, and so did Phil Jackson. What do they have in common? Both of them do drugs awful lot.
Wow.
So
I'm not gonna let you.
Surely, Didi Bus is smarter than that.
Smells like Zach LaVine to me.
Oh, don't.
I'm gonna wait Westbrook, Davis, and LeBron and Zach LaVine.
Ain't nobody. Westbrook is moved, bro. Regardless of whatever happens.
Westbrook, like that's a thing.
No. Hey, I'm just messing with y'all like you be messing with Daniel Jones.
Touche, brother. Touche. We got it.
Yeah.
Listen, this happened while we were sleeping. They decided on the All NBA team, and guess what? It's weird looking to me. So we got Luka, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Jokic at the top of the line on the All NBA first team. The guy that came in second in the MVP voting is on the second line, along with Steph Curry, John Morant, Kevin Durant, and DeRozan. Chris Paul, Trae Young, LeBron, Pascal Siakam, and Karl Anthony Towns make the final 50 of the 15. Do y'all have any problems with any of this?
Yeah,
I got a big problem with it.
Yeah. LeBron needs to be moved to at least second team.
Yeah.
Didn't I tell him? He don't want to listen. I told him. Stop that.
I mean, you being voted second in MVP and you're on the second team. I don't know who you would necessarily.
That's not
take
even
off.
the biggest.
I don't know who you would take off though.
Somebody raise their hand.
I got two of the biggest problems on that thing. I got two of the biggest problems on that screen. Can you put that screen back up again, please? The first problem I got is Devin Booker up there and not Steph Curry. First of all,
Yeah.
and how in the hell is LeBron not on the second team with the numbers he put up?
And how
He should be there instead of DeRozan. He should be there instead of DeRozan.
Yeah, DeRozan should be on the third.
Come on, man, we got to stop this.
Why is Chris Paul on there?
Because Lloyd put in a phone call for him.
I did not. I didn't call. But the line was busy. I didn't call.
Yeah.
But Jesse, you said it's not even the biggest one for you. What's the biggest one for you?
Well, we've been talking about racial diversity. For only 16%.
Reggie, this make me sick.
To be white. And listen, 16% is 2.5 out of 15, right? So
Where's the 0.5 at?
I mean, Devin
I'll
Booker.
put y'all over here. Wait, hold on. There we go. There we go. Go ahead.
Devin Booker's not all you. That's all I'm gonna say. But it's that's a little discouraging. You know, I had a little higher hopes for somebody.
Who?
Who would you have put in there?
Tyler Hero?
Steve Nash. I don't care.
You're just looking for somebody to break it up a little bit. I got you.
He won 2 MVPs in a row.
Think about it. You know, it's really kind of split down the middle. Put it back up there again.
Because those are foreigners.
Yeah, well, let's see. Is Booker completely black?
No.
Is Jason Tatum completely black?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know, but what I'm saying, I think it's even then.
Trae Young?
Trae Young.
No, I meant all 15.
Okay, I'm sorry. hey, I can make those jokes. My wife had black, had white, so I know.
There you go.
Well, shouts out to Luka and Giannis. I think this is 3 years in a row for both of them.
Yeah. The only one I have a problem with is Embiid being, well, several things. Embiid should have been on the top line for sure.
How? In front of who?
Devin Booker shouldn't be on the top line.
Okay, so Embiid should be over Steph Curry.
Yes.
I
agree. Yes. He should.
Yeah. Steph should have been there instead of Luka.
No.
Nah,
No. Don't do that, Lord. Don't do that. Man, you got me. Listen, tonight you got me feeling like I'm a Mavs fan because I feel like I'm defending them a whole lot. And you making me do it. And you making me do that.
Shit.
No,
you making me do that.
No. Let's be honest with it. The easiest argument is Embiid should have been on there in front of Tatum. And a lot of the guys voted for Embiid at the 4, right? But they, you couldn't take over Giannis. But it was Tatum got 6th in the MVP vote, and he made the NBA All first team. See what I'm saying? Embiid got 2nd in the MVP vote and made the 2nd team.
Let me do it this way, and in that way that we won't have to keep.
So they may be doing it by position. That's the only reason I can.
Well, they are. That's exactly what happened. They did it by some. So you didn't have to do it by position. You could have done it. You could have put Embiid in as a 4, but a lot of writers decided, well, that's not really fair. Let's put up everybody in their situation.
So basically what you're saying is, again, there's no clear-cut criteria.
There is no clear-cut criteria, which is one of the biggest problems about why it ends up being what it is.
Yeah.
Then we have this issue with the All-Star team as well.
We have it every year. And it's sad that the NBA has been around 75 years and we still don't know.
No, we don't do it like that in the All-Star game anymore.
What do you mean?
They're not selected by position anymore.
Well,
it's popular votes and then coaches picks.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. How do
And
you
so it's opposite. So you could be an all-star, but the criteria not make you an all-NBA player.
right? And that's what I had with the All-Star because okay, some people was put in because of stats, but then some people didn't have the stats but were still put in. So
well, hold on, because that's not 100% true. Because the reality is, you do. Oh, I screwed it up. Go keep talking. I'm sorry. I got to fix the thing. You do get voted in by your position. Now, you don't get selected in the final thing by your position, but you understand what I'm saying? You get voted in by your position. So when you look at Embiid, when you look at Giannis, when you look at Jokic, they're all in the quote unquote front court.
Gotcha.
So technically you are getting voted in by your position.
Correct.
You just don't get the final count. Doesn't matter to your
No. But then say front court for the All NBA team. Your first All NBA team front court is Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic.
Right.
But they don't do it like that. They do center, forward, shooting guard, point guard.
Well, what they do is they just go by the total amount of votes that you have. So,
but they're doing it by position, Lloyd. That's what I'm saying. They're not saying 3 positions in one. They're saying individual positions.
okay, I'm somehow you lost me because
How's KD over LeBron on that second team?
he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That's also a mistake.
Is this
Okay, I think I got it right this time, guys. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
He shouldn't
confusing.
be.
It's confusing.
He absolutely should not be. There's some real mistakes on this thing. And
how's first, second team, and third team chosen? Is it by writers or
it's the vote. It's how it's voted into. So now I got it up right, guys. We can look at it the way it should be looked at because it's processing, it's processing, it's loading. There we go. Now we can put it on the screen and make it work. Okay.
Cool.
So maybe that's the fix. Maybe. Well, no.
No, this is what I'm saying, Lloyd. Who are the best 2 guards?
Curry.
To me, it's Curry and
Luka.
Okay, but who's the best point guard last year?
Well, Curry is technically not a point guard.
Well, no, he's listed.
Yeah, he's a point guard, but he's more of a shooting guard.
He's just the shootingest point guard you ever saw.
No, but it's Luka, right?
Luka.
So, like, okay, who's the best front court of the first and second team? Who's the best front court?
The second team.
No, you get 3 players.
No,
who you put in the front court?
So, are you asking us who we would put on the first team? Is that
I'm
basically?
saying if you were asked NBA first team,
it'd be Luka, it'd be Steph, it'd be
no. Tell me about the front court, Lloyd.
Hold on, it'd be I'm giving you my first team. You get everybody. You get Luka, you get Steph, I'd go Giannis, I'd go Embiid, I'd go Jokic this year.
Okay,
I don't see any problem with that.
But the point is, Lloyd, if I asked you to give me your best front court, you get 3 players to choose from, right? That include Embiid and Jokic being on the same team. If I ask you to give me your best center, you have to take the MVP, which is Jokic, and Embiid defaults to the second team. In the All-Star game, they do front court.
Okay,
That's 3 players. Then they do guards. That's 2 players. And that's how the voting goes. When you go to the All-NBA team, they do it by position. And so that limits the opportunity. Embiid cannot be on the first team.
And that's what I was trying to explain to you earlier. That's not
true. That is not what you were trying to explain to me.
That is really? You telling me what I was about to explain to you? That is exactly what I was explaining to you. As a writer, you have the option to put Embiid into the power forward position. You don't have to vote him in as a center. That's what I was saying to you. So some writers chose to put him in as a forward, others did not. That's how he ended up not in the center position.
At the end of the day, though,
Giannis, first time ever, 2 years in a row, unanimous selection to the first team at the 4 position. Unanimous.
I don't
2
disagree with
years in a
that.
row to the 4 spot.
I don't disagree with that, but that's not the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is Embiid should be, the voting itself is flawed because Embiid should be on the top line. How he gets there, I don't give a damn. He was the second best player in the league this year.
No, he was not.
Who was better?
I'll take KD over him right now.
Stop it. We're not talking about talent. We're
What are
talking
we
about
talking
who
about?
played better.
Are we talking about the numbers?
We're talking about who played better overall.
Giannis,
I would take KD.
When you give it to Giannis, I mean overall, who played better?
Giannis.
Well, as far as-
Embiid obviously played better, and
No, don't do that, Lord. Don't do that.
he was voted number 2 in the MVP voting. You can't have him number 2 in the MVP voting and then number 9 or number 10 on the damn All NBA team. That doesn't make sense.
So Embiid had a better. So you said Embiid had a better season than Giannis this year?
I think he did. Yes, I think he did.
All right, Jesse, right? Can you pull those numbers?
This is just my opinion.
It's not just about the y'all in those numbers, people. Watch the damn game.
What the hell they going about this?
He had a better season.
So he wait. So he was better offensively and better defensively than
There
Giannis.
were 3 people that got voted into the NBA MVP race at the end. Who were they? Who were the 3 people?
Jokic
Embiid and Giannis.
and Giannis, right?
So it's one. So we're splitting hairs to say that Giannis had a better or Embiid had a better, but he's in the conversation as one, and he came in second in the MVP voting.
I agree with you on that. He did finish second, and I agree with you what you're saying. You're saying no matter what position he plays, he should. If he's finished second, he should be on the first team.
I think just like it should be positionless. Who are the best 5 players this season?
Right.
That's the first team. Who are the second best? Yeah. That's the second team. Who's the third best? That's the third team.
I can agree with that.
Well, to me, I feel like you should do this across the board, even at the All-Star game.
I agree as well.
If you're gonna do first like this, then just do it for the All-Star game. And take the damn All-Star game back to the East-West. I want the battles to go in.
Oh, you ready to get it in for real?
I'm ready to get it in. I'm ready to get it in for real. Now I'm tired of you picking your friends. Let's go back to East and West and let them go at it again.
But you got to admit, though, the All-Star game's been pretty damn good the last 3 years.
It has been, but
it has been. Real talk, it has been.
It has been, but it has been.
Much more competitive.
Hey, you know how that old dude that hates to change? That's what I'm being like right now.
Fair enough. All right.
Hey, at least
like a Spur. He sound like a Spur. That's all it is.
Whoa, watch it.
They got personal. Two quarterbacks that are looking for their deals. They decided not to show up for OTAs. Kyler Murray and Lamar. Who's going to get their contract first? Who should get their contract first?
Lamar.
I think Lamar should get his contract first. I mean, he's definitely been MVP of the league, and he hasn't been as public as Kyler has been. So I think him doing that will pay off in the end. So,
why do you think Lamar hasn't shown up for OTA? Because I think this is the first time he hasn't, right? If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time he hasn't shown up. Why do you think so? Is this his way of kind of?
He's big time now.
I disagree, but with the question.
Oh, okay. Talk about it.
Kyler should get the deal first.
Oh, interesting.
Was that a question?
That was an OU favoritism question.
Yeah,
No. Reggie, you in the car with me and don't even know it.
Okay, how I'm in the car. Talk to me.
You did. What free agent
is going to trade?
There you go. No, I was just playing. What? It's like Cleveland. Outside of Deshaun Watson this year, anywhere. By the way, he's there because all the money he got too.
Huh?
But what other?
Later.
What other? Yeah, he is. What other quarterback is saying, "Oh, I got one more year of free agency. They're not going to franchise tag me, and I'm going to go to Arizona." There's nobody saying that.
Oh, so you're saying he just needs to get his check first for Arizona's sake, not
I'm saying for
necessarily.
Arizona's sake,
I
you
got
got to lock this guy up because you know what you got the next 5 years. Lamar Jackson ain't going nowhere. Baltimore is good. They'll bow around out till they come up with a deal. But for Arizona's sake, lock this man up. You better do it because if not, you'll have Donald back there playing quarterback. Hell, you'll have Kaepernick back there playing quarterback. And you damn sure don't want that. So I'm just saying.
What's happening tonight? Why? Oh man.
Are you in the car with me or not, Reggie? If you're Arizona, you got to make this deal now. Make it happen. Take care of this guy because you don't have nobody breaking their doors down saying, "I'm trying to go to Arizona in free agency."
Hey, you don't have nobody else out there to get either.
Exactly. If you Baltimore, Lamar Jackson ain't going nowhere. You good.
Well, it's interesting because they're under two different circumstances. I understand why Kyler wants his money because he ain't making no money. Comparatively. Let me say it that way. Comparatively.
Yeah.
Lamar's making 23. Or when he signs, he'll be making 23. So that's not a bad contract to be on. It's not what you deserve, but it's not necessarily a bad contract to be on.
How much do you think he deserves?
Lamar?
Yeah.
Well, you got to go to the market, right? You got to go with the market.
I would say the starting point is at 35. I would say.
Okay.
The thing is, he's not a top 5 quarterback.
Right.
Right.
And that's where it gets iffy at. That's where it gets iffy at.
Well, it's that compared to the fact that he won an MVP. So that's why I think it starts at 35 because you got to pay him for doing that.
Right.
But you can't pay him like he's Aaron Rodgers.
What's more important? Just that he won a season MVP or that Nick Foles was a Super Bowl MVP?
Well, listen.
Did they sign a deal with Indy yet? Did he sign a deal, Nick?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you can't get one without you don't even get a chance to compete for it if he's not an MVP though. So you gotta pay him for that.
No, you got to pay Lamar Jackson because he's worth to be paid. That's why you better pay him.
Yeah, you're right.
It's kind of one of those things that Lamar has to realize. Him and Kaepernick is kind of in the not the same place, but in a sense. Listen to me before y'all go here. Listen. I like Lamar plays under Harbaugh like Kaepernick was playing under Harbaugh. That fits him well.
Mm-hmm.
How many people will pay Lamar? Other teams will pay Lamar 35 to 40 million, and he's not a.
We would pay him.
Yeah, I mean,
Based
y'all
on
see
what?
where I'm coming from? That marriage works.
Listen to me.
yeah.
Our current situation, we would pay him. I believe our new GM and our new coach would go to our owner and say, if we can get him, let's get him.
Yeah. So is he a $40 million?
Because he's Josh Allen. He's the black Josh Allen.
Huh?
Josh Allen is what doing some of the same things that Lamar does.
Yeah, but Josh Allen can throw the football too, though.
Well, Lamar can throw it too. He's just not as accurate, maybe, as Josh is.
Well, don't say that he's Josh Allen then.
He is Josh Allen.
Esque.
One of his skill sets is better than Josh Allen's, and one of Josh Allen's skill sets is better than Lamar.
What is it? Josh Allen will bulldoze you and run you over too. So what is better?
Yeah, but he won't outrun you.
Because he's faster? Yeah. And you ain't ran to a Super Bowl with that.
Oh, I got a question, Lord.
Yeah.
So, if you have a choice of Josh Allen or Lamar to be your starting quarterback, who you taking?
In New York?
In New York.
Well, it's got to be Josh Allen because I just took his offensive coordinator and GM.
Yeah, you know the system already.
Right.
It's got to be Josh Allen.
That's not really a fair question. That's not really a fair question.
Think all that way.
No. That's not a fair question because I have his offensive coordinator
as a player. Take the GM, take the coaches away as a player.
That's talent. The talent, yeah.
You thinking about this?
I am.
Because you biased as hell. That's why.
No, it ain't got nothing to do with bias. First of all, let's not talk about bias, Oklahoma. Okay.
What I do? What they got to do with anything?
Has any player in Oklahoma ever come across these airways with us on it that you didn't represent?
What that got to do with anything?
A whole season's worth of Baker Mayfield is the man that I can refer to. So let's move on.
And I got a whole season that said that him and Lamar Jackson will do shit.
They didn't do it, okay?
Same thing.
Because Lamar didn't do it, it's because half his team got hurt.
Oh, and Baker played with a torn leg for the whole season. Talk about it.
What's Baker's excuse?
He had one shoulder.
It wasn't his throwing shoulder.
Doesn't matter.
Of course it does.
Oh, okay. Anything for Lamar.
Baker has a limited skill set.
So does Lamar. He can't throw the football.
Baker, he can throw the football.
So does Lamar.
You know what?
Lord, where you from?
That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
I'm asking you a question. I don't know.
I'm from Arkansas.
You from where?
Arkansas.
And you been in Louisville? That's where you been the majority of your life? That's where you got your start at was in Louisville?
50-50.
And what college did Lamar Jackson go to?
What does that have to do with that? You are not proving a point.
What is the button to delete your ass this time? How can I delete you?
That is not a point that you're.
Hey, how can I delete you, man?
You can't delete me. That's the beauty of it. The point that
I can delete Lamar Jackson, though. You best believe
point
that.
that I'm making about the two skill sets is I got to decide what offense, like Reddy said, got to decide what offense I want to run. There's benefits to both offenses. Both
So
offenses.
Lamar Jackson is better than Josh Allen, though? Is that what we saying?
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm asking you a question.
You're not listening. It ain't registering with you right now.
I'm asking you a question.
I'm saying to you, I would have to decide what I want to be. If we want to be, because if I'm
You want to be a giant, bro. That's what you want to be.
The Giants have traditionally not been a dominant passing team. That's not who we are. We're a running defensive team, smash mouth team. So Lamar fits into what we've traditionally been far better than Josh Allen does. If we brought in Josh Allen, we're changing our whole entire philosophy, which is probably what we're about to do now.
Hold up. I'm sorry. Hey, man, why you got more Chicago stuff up than Indianapolis stuff?
Ooh, it just got interesting. Hold on, let me give you the solo screen.
So what now?
Why do I see all Chicago? I don't see no Indy.
What you mean you don't see no Indy, son? You better look in that corner right there. You see what that is? That's Darius Leonard right there.
I thought that was an Odell Beckham jersey.
You got him in the corner.
Ain't that an Odell Beckham jersey?
You can't even see him.
Oh man.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh my goodness.
My feelings was about to get hurt.
Well, this escalated.
Hey, listen, Reggie, invite me to your house, and if I see one thing of Steve Atwater, Denver in your house, I will question you to death.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? I ain't gonna invite you then.
Yeah. I mean, basically, it's Lamar Jackson, a $40 million quarterback. That's what you're asking.
Yes,
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
yes.
Yeah.
He's not far.
I don't think you're gonna. I mean, even though you want to get him for less, I don't think you're gonna get him for less than 40.
But I don't think that I've not heard the Ravens say anything about the money. Like I'm not sure why they haven't done the deal yet, other than Lamar hadn't brought it up.
Yeah, I think both sides are being cool, but I hope this is not a thing where Lamar is asking for more money than Patrick Mahomes. Like,
I don't see him saying I want 50. I just think I don't know what the deal is. I'm not sure.
There's got to be something significant though, Lord, for it to be dragged out like this.
I think 35. I agree with Lord. I'm hitting the 35 mark.
I'm okay with 35 or 40. I'm okay with
somewhere in there, somewhere between 35 and 40 is a good number.
Yeah,
it's a good number.
Jesse has a number for us.
What's your number, Jesse?
I mean, the Giants are only an all-defense smash-mouth team because their starting quarterbacks have sucked so hard over the last 30 years. I mean, if Phil Simms and Eli Manning is my, level of success, I'm lucky if I make it out of my startup phase as a business. It's, Lamar Jackson fits more organically with Baltimore.
First of all, you are
who they are.
You are a true friend
they're forced to be, but because that's exactly who they're meant to be and who they've always been.
You are a true friend to defend your guy. You to defend your guy, Cam, the way that you did. That was awesome. Let us not forget that our three quarterbacks that sucked, one of them beat your ass twice.
And Trent Dilfer took the Baltimore Ravens to a Super Bowl win.
That has nothing to do with me.
Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl with the
Again, irrelevant to me.
Nick Foles.
Irrelevant to me.
Yeah, Eli Manning's a freaking rock star.
What was
He is. He is when he plays your team.
Nick Foles is my bag at quarterback.
Lord, he's what?
He's a rock star when he plays your team. He owns your ass.
Wait. So what you trying to tell me, Lord? You trying to tell me that Tom Brady has lost the Super Bowl twice to your team?
Just saying.
Wow. This guy.
Matter of fact, I don't think he's beaten the NFC East in the Super Bowl, has he?
Hey man, chill.
No, I'm just asking a question. Since we're asking questions tonight.
So you saying they lost to the Eagles too?
First of all, they got to get there enough to play him.
Oh,
He's been
No, we
there
don't.
10 times.
No, we
Where
don't.
they
We
been?
don't have to get there enough to play
No,
him. All we
he's
got to
been
do
there
is get
10
there.
times. Where
All
you
we
been?
got to do is get there when we get there and whoop your ass, which is what we did.
Jesse, did you just move the goalpost?
I'm just saying he's been there 10
That's what,
times.
hey, that's what people do when they can't defend what they
if
say.
you really wanted to talk about it, play him 10 times.
We don't have to. We played them twice and got the
Played
same
him
result.
three. You played him 3 times,
The NFC East played them 3 times.
right?
We played you twice, and we're
So
undefeated again.
That's 3 out of 10. Good job.
How many times you got to beat somebody? You know that you beat them.
Brady's 7 out of 10, and your
Not against
entire
us.
division is 3 out of 10.
Not against us. Maybe against the rest of the league. But
So
not
how many times have the Lakers played the Celtics in the finals?
if the Celtics win the NBA championship, do they tie the Lakers?
no, they take the lead.
They take the lead. Oh wow.
Yeah, Reggie, we talking championships. This has nothing to do with you.
What is happening tonight? Why is there so much violence?
Question.
Why is there so much
Wow.
violence?
Goodness
Is
gracious.
Why is
read
there
my
violence
shirt
tonight,
today?
boy?
Has anybody read my shirt today?
Right, kindness is free. That's right, Reggie.
I am being kind right now.
Man,
A
I'm
lot
the
of violence being
definition
shown.
of kindness.
this is off the rails right now.
It's off the rails tonight.
Off the rails.
So what did we
Humbling
decide?
time.
We still haven't answered the question, if we're being honest.
Oh,
I told you that. Kyler Murray.
Well, you said
That's
Kyler should get his deal first. That's what you want, right?
I'm saying he's going to get the deal first. He's going to get the deal first.
That's it, Lamar.
Arizona's going to wake up and say, whoa, chill out, guys. Listen, let's not even make this wrong. Let's just lock this guy up. Listen, he is our football. He is our franchise. End of the day, that's what he is. And him and that coach are good for each other.
I'll tell you what, if Lamar Jackson's not sitting there saying, if I get $1 less than Deshaun Watson, we're going to have a problem.
You preaching now,
wow.
Jesse. You preaching now, Jesse, right? You preaching right.
I'm telling y'all, Cleveland didn't screw this system up. And it takes Cleveland to do it.
But you got to really break down Deshaun Watson deal, his contract, because in his first year, he's not going to get anything. So you have to take that in consideration. They knew what they was doing when they did that. I mean,
Right, because he ain't gonna play what 6 games. I mean,
Right.
he's gonna
By
sit
the
out.
way,
But they backloaded the contract too.
yeah.
So like he's still going to get $240 million of his $250 million.
yeah, but you do that, Jesse, because you can get out of those contracts all day at the back end of them. You can get out of them.
Like you can get out of the Westbrook contract.
Oh, that takes a long.
Can you get out of a,
Why?
I mean,
That was
I
kind.
don't know the clause.
That was kind.
Out of guaranteed
That was
money.
kind.
That didn't feel kind.
How much did Patrick Mahomes get in guaranteed money?
700.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stop it. How much
700 of the billion that he got.
guaranteed money?
But so there is clauses in there that you can get out of that guarantee.
Well, listen, any contract can be gotten out of because of
No.
cause.
No.
Mm.
No. That's
No.
what made the Kirk Cousins deal to Minnesota such a huge thing. $80
No, I
million
said cause.
guaranteed. When they're guaranteeing this money, it's They could blow an ACL. They could not take a COVID shot. It's guaranteed.
But didn't New England get out of the Aaron Hernandez contract?
That was legal
murdered
shit.
somebody.
That was legal stuff.
That's my point. You can get out of a contract because of cause. C-A-U-S-E, cause.
Right, murder.
Right. Murder is a cause. Right.
But what I'm saying, I don't understand. Now, I think he's a great quarterback, but I'm trying to figure out why do you pay him that much money?
There are a couple of stops along the way.
A year and a half.
Just saying.
Hold on, Jesse. What'd you say, Reggie?
I understand he's a good quarterback, but why do you guarantee that much money on a player who haven't played in over a year?
With Deshaun?
Yeah.
Because he's a sure thing. We talked about it. He's putting on San Francisco right now for next year.
Man, desperation, man. I think you're desperate.
Jameis
you have gotten. What'd you say, Jesse?
I said Jameis Winston would have gotten that kind of money 5 years ago.
Yeah. You're in a situation.
Then he got out of the league for a year. Something happened, and then look what happened to him.
You're in a situation if you're Cleveland where you've got a lot of money tied up into a lot of players. You got to do something, and there's nothing else out there. And if you look at in the college ranks, there's some good players coming. But is there anybody that's going to turn your franchise around in a year? Maybe not. I don't know.
If you don't win the Super Bowl in 3 years, is this a bad deal?
Say it again.
If you do not win the Super Bowl in 3 years, is this a bad deal?
No, this isn't, because this isn't a James Harden kind of thing, right? Where you're going to be so salary cap strapped and everything else. The cap's going to raise so much to accommodate for these salaries, right? Okay. Especially at the top end with these quarterbacks. The money deals you think about this. If your $2 billion deal goes to $2.2 billion, you got an extra $200 million to throw around, and everybody's playing with an extra $10 million, and the quarterback salaries go up $2 million a year. Like, that's nothing, right? So, it's a much larger gap than that. The owners are still making out way more than the players are.
Right.
And so, at the end of the day, it's not about whether or not $45 million is worth the player or whether or not it can fit under the salary cap. It's whether or not you think he is better than comparative to who is out there, right?
And who's coming.
The team is willing to pay. Right. And that's 100% a market play. So right now you've got Deshaun Watson setting the market, right, for a long-term potential talent at $250 million, right? $240 million. You got Aaron Rodgers making 1-year deals at the end of his career worth $50 million, right? Now the flip side of that coin is the Brady deal that's getting $20 million, but they're able to invest in the whole team around him, and we'll kind of see what happens. But the biggest thing for me is you can't say, is Lamar worth this or that? Is he worth this compared to Deshaun Watson? Right? Is he worth this compared to Aaron Rodgers? Is he worth this compared to Patrick Mahomes? And when you're talking about what else is out there, as far as I'm concerned, Lamar Jackson is what Baltimore wants. It's what Baltimore needs. It fits every single aspect of their identity. And you got to make them happy, right? I don't think trading Hollywood Brown did that. So that probably impacts contracts as well. But I say at the end of the day, he's got to make at least what Deshaun makes, if not more.
I think I thought that was good for Lamar getting rid of Hollywood, because that's not Baltimore game.
Lamar thinks that,
but that's not Lamar's game. His game is tight end, check down, run the football.
I'm not trying to defend his position.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't think he's old enough and mature enough to understand losing my number one wide receiver, who I had a connection with, who can easily do 100 receptions and 1,000 yards a year for me, and is my deep threat option. Losing him without getting anything back, I don't see Lamar recognizing the return there, or else he'd be at OTAs, right? Like there's a whole thing.
I don't agree with that. I listen. I know you're saying that because Hollywood played for OU. Listen, I understand that, but he's not the best offensive weapon over there for him. The best one is the tight end, who also went to OU. That is his best weapon. That is his go-to guy.
He slipped it in there.
Listen, let me slip this in. Let me slip this in. That's why I feel like they need to get Debo Sanders, because he's more. They need to get Debo. because he's more of a fit for what Lamar does, what he needs to do. I think he's more of a fit than what Hollywood is. I think this is just a thing where we sitting back and waiting to see who's getting money. Listen, Aaron Rodgers gonna set all these boys up pretty good.
Let me say this, and I'll leave it alone. I don't disagree actually with your Kyler Murray assessment, because while Lamar should get his money and he should be first, if Arizona's smart, they don't keep effing around with this Kyler Murray thing.
They may wind up paying more if they do.
Right. He might. Well, not only that, he's already unhappy, and he's got options. He don't have to play football. He can go do whatever he wants to do.
First round draft pick.
Right. So
baseball.
And that baseball gonna last a lot longer than that football.
And he's gonna be a lot healthier. So he's got options. So if I'm Arizona, I think you may have talked me into that. I think they got to make a move faster than
Arizona's also got to decide quick, right? They have a lot of eggs in some very old baskets.
Very old, yes.
That are taking up some money, from AJ Green to JJ Watt, right? They're positions all over the place where they're betting a lot of money on some older players to give them some gap spaces, right? That puts them over the top.
Right.
And I don't know if they're going to turn out to be a Weedle for them, right? In the playoffs. So
they did release JJ Watt.
They have to, if they're going to commit to him, they need to do it fast, right? While they still have some potential, and then they need to figure out how they're going to prove they're going to replace all that stuff.
Well, they got to decide: are they the Rams or are they building something? If they're the Rams, they got to go all in right now, pay everybody, and let's go win. Or because if we're not doing that, then why are we jawjacking with this at all? You're wasting money and throwing it away for no reason.
Well, they got Hollywood Brown though, right?
Huh?
They got Hollywood Brown though, right?
That sounds like you're the Rams and we're going all in.
But isn't that the difference between the two? We talk about the same team. So one player went out and got Hollywood Brown for their quarterback, and another player traded him and didn't replace him.
Yeah. Good point. Reggie, what'd you say? Did you say yes on Lamar or Kyler? Who'd you go with?
I jumped in the car with my fellow coach.
He talked you into it?
He talked me into it.
He
He told me I was gonna ride with him. I'm riding.
All right. Chad, who'd you go with?
Oh yeah, I said Lamar. I said Lamar should. I mean, in theory, yes, Kyler should, but I would rather have Lamar go ahead and get it sold up.
Yeah. All right, we'll close out with this one. Nick Saban is out here in these streets talking about as reckless as they come. He called out Deion. He called out Jimbo Fisher, saying they out here buying players with all these NIL money, giving people millions of dollars and blah, blah, blah. Is he right? Is he crazy? Or is he about to be exposed? Because Jimbo –
I got to run, but I will just say this. I will say this.
Okay.
Saban, you're not running the recruits anymore. This is what this is all about. Everybody's not saying I'm going to Bama. Oh, Bama got the most recruits. Oh, Bama got the most recruits. Nick Saban. Ain't nobody doing that no more. So now you've been offensive. I get it. Calm down. Toast loose. I'll holler at y'all later.
All right. All right.
Peace.
He meant that, what he said there.
Yeah, I mean, I take Cam, man. I think the gap is really closing on Alabama and their recruits, and I think he's getting good recruits, but the recruits he's probably actually wanting and that he thinks wants to come to Alabama are not coming. So I think that gap is just closing on him, and he's kind of salty about it. The thing with Deion, that was crazy, and Deion let him know about it. So
that was unnecessary.
Yeah. So I mean, Deion is at HBCU, and he said, "No, I'm not even getting $1 million." So I think Nick Saban probably bit off a little bit more than he can chew, and he's kind of backpedaling a little bit now.
Okay.
The thing is, though, I keep telling y'all, and we all said it, when they start giving that money up, it's gonna open that can of worms. Y'all see he's opening that can of worms right now, and that's the problem. Is let's be honest, A&M, and I'm not talking about Deion. I'm just separating that Deion conversation. But A&M said, "Hey, our boosters.
We got money.
Because from what I'm understanding, their facilities is just off the chain down at A&M. I've heard like it's just super. And then you add that NIL money to it. And and if that's the way they got their recruits, well, that's the way the game is played now. So you salty because he was talking to his boosters, and he was salty because hey, A&M gave more NIL deals to the players, and at the end of the day, if me and mom sitting at the house and A&M giving me $1 million and Alabama's getting 50,000, where y'all think I'm going? Me and mom's going over to A&M.
No brainer.
And he's got a $1 million quarterback too.
Right. And nobody cried about the $1 million quarterback from Alabama too. Nobody cried.
Nobody said a word about Bryce's deal.
Yeah.
Before he ever took the field or threw a pass.
So I don't know. I just like I said, he's a little salty because the game has reversed on him. And you notice that A&M coach said he had some stories. He didn't call it out directly, saying that Saban been paying players all along before the NIL. I'm just telling you, he said that. So, but and then the whole I don't know why he drug Deion into that situation.
I didn't get the Deion.
I didn't get the Deion situation at all.
Other than
you say anything about Deion, I understand you was making a speech to your boosters, but that should have been between you and A&M if you want to say something, because A&M has the number 1 recruiting class. Yes, Deion got the number 1 player. Oh well, is that going to make the whole team? Why are you even bringing that up? That's HBCU. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, that's your Geico guy. Why you?
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't get that one either. Jesse, what's your thoughts on that one?
Truth hurts.
Whose truth?
I think it's all true.
Yeah. I think it's a deeper story to this as well. I think Nick does not like the fact that between the NIL and the transfer portal, it's even now. It's no longer I have I can't go into a house and have the recruiting competitive advantage ever again.
Right.
Because even if I win, even if I get all if I get all 10 5-stars that I'm after, Jimbo can go right to the transfer portal and get the top 5 transfer guys that have experience and cut the learning curve by 2 years.
Oh, Lord.
And now we're back to playing an even football game.
I'm gonna make it better than that for you, because here's what's happening. Alabama's gonna recruit 5-stars, right? And
they're gonna get what they get. Yeah.
They're gonna get 3 5-star players to the same position. And 1 or 2 of them is not gonna be happy. So where do you think they're gonna go? They're gonna get out. They're gonna go to the Arkansas and the A&Ms and everywhere. Matter of fact, Arkansas got one of their linebackers. Yeah. So it's like you said, it's even. So what do you expect to have? 5 5-star players at every position? Nick?
Well, here's what you're not remembering. Dabo and Nick have been able to get all the 5-stars they wanted, build a 2 to 3 year gap,
right,
to where everybody has to cycle 4 years where they're only cycling 1 or 2, and now Nick and Dabo only got to deal with you 1 year of being good, but the next 3 years you're not going to be that good. Whereas now you got to bring it every year.
Mm-hmm.
You got to bring it every year. And he felt that this year. Man, Georgia was ready. Georgia was clearing away the best team in college football. And we said that at the very beginning of the college football year. Like they were the best team, and it bared itself out. Well, that's how it's going to be now. Texas A&M is going to be good, man. Arkansas is going to be good, man. These teams are going to be good, and it ain't going to be no more, I'm dominating the SEC. That's over.
Right.
And I think he's feeling a way about that. Mm-hmm. So, good luck to you. That's all I can tell you. And maybe he's trying to get Deion called out because he don't want Deion to make the jump. Because he knows if Deion makes the jump to legit D1.
Hey, Deion can sell salt to a slug.
You understand? Yeah, he knows Deion is a problem.
Right.
He can see it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we got any shout outs as we close out the show tonight? We got any shout outs?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Herbert Lang, man. He's spreading this word here. He's a former, my college roommate, former Harlem Globetrotters. You've probably seen it on Price is Right, all those things from Brinkley, Arkansas. Well, man, he's spreading this right here. Kindness is free, man, and he's doing a
Let me get you that solo. Let me get you that solo.
Yeah, kindness is free, man, and what's going on in today's world, man, brother, we need some positive, man. So I mean, he's really doing a great job with this. He's going to speak to schools and colleges. He's really getting around. He's getting on major networks and really spreading the word of kindness is free. So, man, definitely shout out for her, man. Keep doing what you think, because, man, we do need this in this world, brother.
How do you access it?
He sent. You know what? I need to get that information. He did send me his thing, but I'll get it over to you, brother.
I tell you what, if you get it, we'll put it up. But for now, we'll just say, Google Herbert Lang kindness is free.
There you go. That's it.
Google that, and that'll at least get you pointed in the right direction. So
yes, sir.
There you go. That's awesome. We definitely need it right now. Yeah. Jesse, what you doing, man? Who you shouting out tonight, my brother?
Shout out to Brittany Griner.
Yeah, man.
What's happening? I haven't heard.
Still waiting.
Oh, I thought she got out.
No, got to get her home.
Yeah. Her wife spoke out for her today. Asked President Biden to intervene. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah. What you doing there, Chadwick?
Yes, piggybacking on what Jesse said, definitely free Brittany Griner, and that situation. Hopefully, she can come home quick and be able to get there safe. Also, just like you said at the top of the show, man, prayers to the families of Uvalde, and that's my mom and family are from San Antonio, so it's kind of close to home, because that could have been we all got small kids and kids in school, and that could have been, we could have got that call. So I mean, just thanking God that he's keeping every one of us, and just praying for the families, and it's a very tough situation. So definitely go now. Just thank God every day that you can get up and it was cool. So
yeah. Just such a real issue with that. I'm hoping that can be resolved quickly and get her on home. And then I also want to give a shout out to this is me being a little tongue-in-cheek and petty, but I also want to give a shout out to Beto O'Rourke, who proved his gangster today. That was and I only bring him up only for this reason. We gotta raise the level of accountability in this country for things that are not right. And we can't sit back on the sidelines and complain. And Twitter is not us being active. Sometimes we got to get in the fight. And I know on my end, and I think some others, like Herbert. I mean, just I know you say, well, it's just a T-shirt. Yeah, but man, that goes a long way. You know what I mean? Because somebody sees that, and maybe that's the thing that triggers something in them to say, let me at least back off of whatever I'm feeling today and do something different. So we got to get engaged in some way to make this world better. I asked the question last night, is this the world that we truly want to leave our kids? And it's not, man. We got to fix this. You know what I mean? We all got young kids. We got to fix that. Some of our listeners, some of our viewers, they got young kids. We got to fix some of this, man. And the only way to fix it is to get engaged. So I shout out Beto O'Rourke, man, for jumping in the fray today, taking a risk. Maybe that's what we got to do, get a little radical and do it different than what people expect. So, but hug your kids tonight, tell them you love them, And let's pray that we can get through the end of this school year, this next few days, whatever it is for most of us, peacefully. So once again, we send our thoughts and prayers to the good people of Uvalde, and we're with you. We're with you.
Get you 10 when you're plugging in with the there's no mystery. Let's make history with the oh, the song is 2 is 3. Add 1 more plus me and do the 5. Yeah. Keep it on the floor, and the funk plus 4, and you got 5. I said before, 1 and 9 is 10, and there ain't no spread on the 5. There's no denying it.